Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Brian's Badass Reviews. Just checking out my daughter's new penny board that she got. Pretty freaking cool, check this out. The wheels light up. Now that's badass. But that's not what we're talking about today, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about the Meepo Mini 2 versus the Meepo V3. Which one do I think is better? For those of you that have checked out Brian's Badass Reviews page before and you've seen some of my Meepo videos before, you know I've done a video on the V3 and I've done a video on the Mini 2. So I wanted to do just a little bit more of an in-depth kind of look at the specs of each board and really kind of dig a little bit deeper into it. So which one do I think is better? Stick around after the intro. Let's talk about it. Kick the intro! So just a little bit of channel business out of the way here, guys. If this is your first time here or you're coming back and you haven't done so yet, I would be hugely honored if you guys considered subscribing. I'm just about to that 1,000 sub goal and I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody that has subbed to the channel. It's been so much fun. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. Got new videos coming out pretty much every single week, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 videos. And if you like what I'm doing here, don't be afraid to hit that like button. Really helps me out. Today we're talking about the Meepo V3 versus the Meepo Mini 2. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna just tell you guys right up front, both of these boards are super awesome. Now, I really believe that it really depends on what you want to do, what you're going to be using it for. They both ride a little bit different. Both of them are a ton of fun. Both of them are super fast. Both of them have excellent braking power. Both of these come with the same remotes. They both have the low to pros and the steps in between. I think it's low, medium, high, and pro. I'm not sure exactly what miles per hour you get out of each one of the levels, but I tend to stick on the pro for the Meepo V3 and I tend to stick on the high for the Meepo Mini, and really it just boils down to that because they both ride a little bit different. You're gonna have a little bit more stability on the Meepo V3. Now the V3 is a 38-inch Canadian maple deck, and as you can see it's a longboard. Nice thing about this V3 is definitely the handle here. Makes it easy. These things are kind of heavy, both of them. Even the Mini 2, it's a 30-inch 7-layer maple deck, but it's still got some weight to it. Now, I would love it if Meepo would have put a handle on the Mini 2. As you can see here, there's no handle on this bad boy, and it's still got a little bit of heft to it. Now, I know I have super huge muscles, so I wouldn't have any problem carrying these bad boys around. But just would have been nice if the Mini had the handle on it. Not a deal breaker at all, but it makes it nice on the V3. Both of these boards, they come with the 90mm wheels. They both have dual powered hubs, so there's plenty of power, there's plenty of kick into them. You're also gonna get pretty much the same range out of both of these. Now, these are both the standard decks. So with the standard decks, you're gonna get about 11 miles per battery on it. And I have read some reviews that when you get down to about 30% of your battery life, the actual throttle kind of throttles down. You're not gonna get the full power out of that. I haven't experienced that yet, mostly because of the pandemic. I have not been able to get either one of these boards out. I kind of decided to get these at maybe the worst time to get them because I can't just hop on and cruise. All the parks are closed, everything's closed. So I'm having to sneak off to parking lots as you saw in that last video. So I haven't really got to do a full extended range test on each of these, but some of the reviews that I've read so far say that it throttles down a little bit at 30%. Just something to kind of keep in mind. But 11 miles. Both of these boards at top speed will go 25 miles an hour, 26 miles an hour if you're going downhill. Maybe you'll pull 27, 28, I don't know. It's freaking fast. If you upgrade, you pay a little bit more money and you get the extended range batteries. Both of these boards are gonna get 20 miles, and I think the Mini is gonna be 27, 28 miles an hour, while the V3 actually tops out at 29 miles an hour, guys. And I don't know if any of you have done 29 miles on a skateboard, but that's freaking fast. Like, that is no joke. Make sure you're wearing all your safety gear, guys. I've seen some pretty gruesome pictures. There's some awesome e-skate communities on Facebook and Reddit and just all over the place that I've been kind of bouncing into. You see some pretty gnarly pictures of some pretty good spills that these guys have taken. So just be careful out there. Know your limits. That's why they have the 4 modes. You can go on the low. Start out on the low. If you need to start on low, ain't no shame in your game. You know what I mean? Because after a little while, you get used to it. You can bump up to that medium and then to the high, and then pretty soon you're hitting that pro mode and you're flying down the road. Just get comfortable first, especially if you've never skated. Now that's gonna bring me to my next thing. So let's talk about the Meepo Mini 2. Best feature on this bad boy is right here. the kicktail. Now this pretty much makes it set up like a conventional skateboard. Reminds me of maybe an early 80s skateboard where there was no lift on the nose, but you had your kicktail, right? This board does have a little bit of concave to it, which at first takes just a little bit of getting used to, but after a little bit, you don't really even notice it anymore, and it really helps when you're trying to carve. Makes it very convenient. But this kicktail is awesome. You no longer have to kind of loop way out like you do on the V3 and cut into the corner to make those tight cuts. Just so you guys know, I spilled a little bit of drinky drink on this and didn't clean the board, so looks a little nasty. It just makes it awesome for turning on a dime. I think I said it in my last review that it's really kind of like a fighter jet. You can dart all around. You can, I mean, shoot, I've seen guys popping ollies and doing different kind of things on it. It's crazy. I just like to ride. I'm getting kind of old, so, but it's very maneuverable. Maybe if you live in a town that's got a huge bike trail and you're gonna be going for, you know, 3, 4, 5, 10 miles, and you want that comfortable ride where you're not having to jet around, you're not turning a bunch of corners, you're not having to get in and out of people and garbage cans and whatever else you might encounter, you might want to go with the V3 for that. But if you have to go around and you're trying to get around, you need to be super maneuverable. Pick yourself up the Mini 2. Of course, this goes without saying, guys, with everything that's going on, I know money's tight. This is just a review for you guys to kind of help you make a decision. Don't feel like you need to go out and spend any money right now. I'm assuming if you're watching the video, it's because you're at least looking into different boards, right? I gotta tell you, I love both of these boards. I will tell you that I do tend to kind of go for the Mini 2 whenever I'm trying to decide which board I want to ride. If me and one of my daughters is trying to pick which board we want to ride, I seem to be picking the Mini 2 over the V3, which is okay because my daughter's a little bit younger at 12 and 13 years old, don't have a lot of riding experience, so I feel like it's good for them to be on a more stable board, so they're picking up the V3, guys. Another tip, if you're kind of a beginning rider with either one of these boards, they both send you one of these truck keys, so you can actually tighten up your trucks a little bit. That will make it, when you're leaning one way or the other on the board, it'll make it a little bit stiffer, so you need to put a little bit more force on it to get the board to turn whichever way you're trying to get it to go. That's something that I did when I skated when I was a kid. I did not like the board real loose. It's probably better for popping tricks and stuff like that. So I just think if you tighten those bolts up a little bit, it makes it more stable ride, especially if you don't have a ton of riding experience. So it's cool that they send that with them. When I purchased both of these decks, they were version ESC 6.0 version, which I think at that time meant that you can kind of hold a couple buttons down and it'll switch the kilometers to the miles per hour, which, me being here in America, was super handy for me. I believe they both have cruise control settings on them, but now Meepo has the 6.5 ESC. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure what the huge difference is there, other than I think that the way they sealed up the battery compartments is a little bit different. So now with the new ones, if you just haven't purchased one yet and you're about to get one, that thing's gonna be completely waterproof, which is pretty awesome. You don't have to really worry about going through puddles now. You don't want to be skipping through puddles all day long on these things, but hey, you're gonna encounter that little puddle every now and then, right? Both of these boards can handle up to a 30% grade with somebody that weighs up to 300 pounds, right? Now, of course, if you weigh up to 300 pounds and you're on one of these things, you're gonna experience a little bit of a speed difference as you're going up that 30% grade. I believe they take a 15% grade at 9 miles per hour. Lots of similarities in the boards, guys. One thing I did notice as well is that the Meepo Mini 2 stands up just a little bit higher. And you can see right here, guys, if you look closely, that there is a truck riser. And the truck riser that's on here, guys, is significantly larger than the truck riser that's on the V3. Now, with the Meepo Mini 2, you're going to be sitting about 5.5 inches off the ground from bottom of the wheel to the bottom of your foot. Whereas on the Meepo V3, you're gonna be sitting about 4 3/4 of an inch off the ground. But you can barely see that truck riser. Now, like I said before, both of these come with the 90mm wheels. They both come with the shredder trucks. Both of the compartments on both the Mini 2 and the V3 are sealed very nicely, like I said before. Now, I don't know about the 6.5. I think just the way they seal it, I think they seal it with glue or something so that it's completely watertight. Sealed very nice. There's no gaps in between. They're both just constructed awesome. Now look, I can't speak for other e-skate companies. I've never rode on a boosted board. I've never rode on a busted board. I've never rode on a one wheel. They all look amazing to me. They all look super awesome. For me, both of these boards, when I purchased them, were both in my price range, and I was just looking for something to kick around, have some fun, get something for the girls so that they can ride with me, something that we can kind of do as a family. And now I got the perfect tool every day to go check the mail, which is about a block and a half down the road at our big community mailbox center thing. So I can't wait until everybody is back to being healthy and we get the clear go ahead. I can't wait to take these out and really put these things to the test, guys. They're so much fun. Both my girls love them. I don't really think you can go wrong with either one. So I didn't mean to be clickbaity at the beginning. Which one do I think is better? I mean, I can tell you that the one I lean to more, like I said earlier, is the Mini 2, just because I like that it's more maneuverable. That might not be for you, you know, so it's really gonna depend on you. What I can tell you is that you can't go wrong with either one of these boards. I am not a Meepo affiliate. I have no ties to Meepo at all. I'm just an old skateboarder dude at heart, trying to cling on to a little bit of his youth, and these things more than suffice. So I don't know. I hope that's been helpful for you guys. I hope maybe you learned something you didn't know about them before. I know there's a ton of information. I know there's probably a million reviews online about these things. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't seen my other Meepo videos yet, I'll put those probably here and here at the end of the video. So don't be afraid to click on them. Thanks so much for sticking around. I hope you made it all the way through the video. That's all I got for today. You guys know what I like to say. You gotta be kind to each other. You gotta do what makes you happy. That's it for me. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace. That's just so cool. Check that out.